Are you still a member of the Democratic Socialists of America? That's what Jon Karl asked AOC of the New York City chapter. And then she called their agenda abolish the Senate, the presidency, the Supreme Court, fundamentally pro-democracy on ABC on a Sunday morning. And Karl just moved on to the next question. See, New Hampshire polling, it has AOC as the #1 choice of Democrat voters in 2028. And she just refused to rule out running for president or taking Chuck Schumer's Senate seat in the same 3 minutes of television. Back on August 4th, we showed you President Trump calling this party communist over Abdul El-Sayed's Michigan win. And watch her call that same win a time of renewal. Same race, same candidate, and she's proud of it. And I'm going to roll you the 2 clips where Karl puts Hasan Piker and Francesca in front of her by name, and she runs from both. Now a bulletin off the health desk that never makes the network Chiron. Open enrollment season is closing in, and millions of seniors overpaying for Medicare are about to renew the same plan for another year without ever knowing it. Big insurance runs on that confusion, the mailers, the robocalls, the fine print, engineered so nobody reads it. And here's the part they cut for time. Patriots, there's a newsroom for your Medicare. It's called Chapter. Independent Medicare advisors, the only advisors comparing every plan nationwide. Not one carrier's lineup, every plan. Chapter reviews your doctor's prescriptions and reports back the truth. Already on the best plan? Well, they'll confirm it on the record. And if you're not, they'll help you switch plans. So one call under 20 minutes and it costs you nothing, 910-728-4109. And that's the story. Now back to the socialist who wants your Senate abolished. Now Hasan Piker said America deserved 9/11. Karl asked her point blank if he belongs in the progressive movement. Her answer? We have lost young people. That's it. She filibusters about Joe Rogan and young men, and she would not say his name back. And now the tweets. AOC admits, refuses to answer when she's asked if she's running for president.
So we're almost out of time to get to your future. I'm sure you saw the poll in New Hampshire that had you as the leading candidate, leading choice for Democrats. First, are you going to run for president?
I mean, I'm focused on winning the midterms. I'm running for Congress right now.
But, I mean, do you see this as something... I know you've said you're open to it. Is it a realistic possibility for you?
I haven't ruled out the possibility, and I'm very humbled to the tremendous amount of support out there. I think that we have a responsibility to remain focused on the midterms and not on our individual aspirations or plans.
And running for Senate against Chuck Schumer, is that also something that's possible?
I mean, I think that anything is possible at this juncture.
I can already see the campaign posters now appealing to all those third world invaders that came across the border illegally, who are just, they're so attuned to that type of imagery. And also the question was raised about running against Schumer.
We're almost out of time to get to your future. I'm sure you saw the poll in New Hampshire that had you as the leading candidate, leading choice.
Okay, so she floated a possible 2028 presidential campaign. I haven't ruled out the possibility. I'm very humbled. And then here is the question about the Democrat Socialists of America and their agenda of abolishing the Senate, the presidency, and Supreme Court.
Wait, just a quick definitional thing. What, in your mind, is the difference between socialism and communism?
I think, to me, the fundamental differences, there's many.
Yeah.
One prevailing one is democracy. And I believe that democratic socialists are fundamentally pro-democracy. And we believe in the ballot box. We believe in respecting the outcomes of elections and governing democratically and ensuring that the ideas and policies that are implemented are won through popular vote and popular opinion. And so I think that's why so much of what we focus on is also making sure that we are providing for the majority of Americans, guaranteeing health care, raising wages, strengthening the right to a union, And I think that that's at its core what we're about.
Are you still a member of Democratic Socialists of America?
Of the New York City chapter.
The New York City chapter, not the national.
No.
We. That's what she said. Yeah, she's definitely a member. Oh, just the New York chapter, though. Okay, so yeah, you're still a card-carrying communist. We get it. Sure. Thanks for that. Just because it has the word Democrat in it doesn't mean that it's democratic, right? And then here's the question about Hasan Piker. Is there room for him in the party?
Another person who's been made an issue is Hasan Piker, who obviously endorsed Abdul El-Sayed in Michigan. You've been on his live stream, at least a few times. He's somebody who said, that America deserved 9/11. Now he backed off from that.
Yes, he's apologized.
But he said a lot of controversial things. Is he somebody that should have a role in the progressive movement going forward?
I think when we look at our elections that have happened, we have lost young people. Much hay was made about the fact that we lost young men in the last election. And many of the same consultants that are wringing their hands today were the same ones talking about how we need to go on Joe Rogan and we need to be not so, willing to engage in cancel culture. And I think that the flip-flopping on this is a tactical debate that they may be having. I think the fact of the matter is that Democrats can go on Joe Rogan, Democrats can go on Fox News, Democrats have a responsibility to build a winning coalition, and young people are engaging in mediums and conversations that we have a responsibility to attend to and be responsive to. And even right now, when we look at this insurgent wave of what is happening, oftentimes when people are doing that Monday morning quarterbacking and what demographics voted where, the big one that's being ignored is the generational tidal wave. Tsunami.
You see it in the polling. It is significant.
Millennials are not, punk kids anymore.
Yeah.
We're grown adults with mortgages and kids.
Sure. So just let the crazies into the party. She called it insurgency. Yeah, and then here she's asked about the Democrat socialist Francesca Hong.
You have Wisconsin coming up next. Francesca Hong, who is the Democratic Socialists of America supported candidate for governor. You haven't endorsed her. Are you going to?
No, I haven't endorsed in that race. My focus has been in winning back the Congress, winning back the House, and positioning ourselves to have the best chance possible to win the Senate. So I've been focused on those legislative races.
What do you make of those controversial statements? I'm sure you've seen. I mean, she's, the Thanksgiving dust up. She says she doesn't, still believe that, but the abolish prisons, abolish police, which is also positions that have been taken by a lot of the progressive candidates who have won. How do you get around that? I mean, those are not positions that are supported by
right. I think that a lot of these races, even right now, they'll have a tendency to be nationalized.
Yeah. But
these races ultimately are local, and all politics are local. My understanding is that that Francesca Hong has made clear her present stances to her electorate.
Yeah, she's moved away from a lot of that.
Right, she's moved away from it.
She's conveniently moved away from it. Yeah, that's what I think is what we're really supposed to be hearing here. And now she says, this is the part. She says, we have an ascendance of young, inspiring, exciting electorate, energizing wave of candidates that I think inject a new energy into the Democrat Party. Excited about the socialist takeover.
What does Abdul El-Sayed's victory in Michigan say about the future of the Democratic Party?
I think that we are in a time of renewal for the Democratic Party, and it's tremendously exciting for all of us, for the big tent of the Democratic Party. We have really an ascendance of a young, inspiring, exciting, electorate, energizing wave of candidates that I think really inject a new energy to the Democratic Party and add to the toolbox of candidates that we have to win the midterm elections, hopefully in November.
Yeah, hopefully not. Let's just put it there. And apparently she's freezing her eggs now. Okay, you know, I guess people do that, so.
Sure.
All right, and then before you go, you did have a personal announcement that you made. It was interesting to see you kind of open up in, you know, on an Instagram Live, I believe it was. So tell me what it was and why you decided to do it.
I think it's important for us to normalize these conversations, especially in this political environment. The Trump administration has...
Remind us what the announcement was.
Yeah, sure. So I have decided to start the process of freezing my eggs.
Yeah.
And in this political environment where this administration is denying reproductive care to women across the country, from abortion rights to the ability to carry out a healthy pregnancy, I think it's important for us as leaders to have these conversations and share these processes, especially for working women across the country, and normalize them.
Okay, all right. Congresswoman Ocasio-Cortez, thank you very much for being here. Let's hope to talk to you again soon.
Thank you.
And when you're ready to make that decision about 2028,
I'll let
come back
you know.
and talk to us about it.
She's freezing her eggs because of the Trump administration. You get that? Because it's about reproductive rights. I don't remember anything that President Trump has done with respect to restricting women's rights to freeze eggs. Yeah, so I guess another glorious virtue signal from AOC, making the post on Instagram, New York Post picking it up. Christie weighed in on AOC. Krispy Kreme, let's see.
Look, and I listened really carefully to what Congresswoman Ocasio-Cortez said this morning. You know, every position that Scott just laid out, when you presented it to her, she talked about backing off, changing her views, evolving views.
Woke one was crazy.
Woke one was crazy, which we never heard her say before. Look, I think the congressman put it correctly, that there's two parts to this. It's what are you talking about, and do we trust what you're saying? And after listening to the congresswoman, why should anyone trust her? The things that she has said previously now, when she senses that she didn't know what she was talking about, and she was out of touch and with the American people, and now wants to advance her career, now all of a sudden she's saying different things. And I have to say, when you played the Francesca Hong part, I can tell you this, the Republican Governors Association is giddy over what will happen on Tuesday, because we're going to hold people like her and the Congresswoman to what they've said over their careers, not what they're trying to conveniently evolve into now.
There are two...
Anything is possible at this juncture. That is a sitting congresswoman measuring Chuck Schumer's office while carrying a DSA card in her pocket. She'll own socialism in the abstract because it polls, but put Francesca Hong's abolish the police quotes in front of her, and suddenly these races are ultimately all local. So let's make her answer the questions, Jon Karl, that he let her skate past. Every Republican, every reporter, every voter, name the party, name the agenda, and make her explain on camera how abolishing the Senate and the Supreme Court is pro-democracy. We've laughed at this woman for 8 years, and she is now the 2028 frontrunner. So stop laughing and start listening, because she told you her plans out loud, and the press held the door wide open. And drop in the comments whether you think Schumer survives her. And share this with the person in your life who still calls the DSA fringe. And subscribe, because this fight is only starting, and there's more coming out of this building that never makes it to your feed. You see, AOC gets a friendly anchor and a soft landing. You get the real file. Text White House to 844-840-4963, and our credentialed team inside the White House sends you the nightly report straight from the building. The pieces that never fit in the segment, right on your phone, no algorithm standing in the way. But receiving is only rung one. Text signal that same number. and you're enlisted in the Next News Signal Corps, where operators get assignments, and the more you do, the higher you climb. And make sure you check out the exclusive briefings that are only for Signal Corps recruits. Come get in the room with us.